You ever get that feeling in your heart that you know what you want to do, but you don't know what you need to do? You don't know how to go all in, because going all in means you have to let go of parts of yourself that you have to identify and get to know. And I think a lot of us are so scared to face ourselves. We're not scared to be alone. We're scared to see what's there when we're alone. We're scared to witness our thoughts, to hear our thoughts, to sit with our feelings, to sit with the heaviness, to sit with the sadness, to sit with the fact that we're just not happy with our lives. We have everything, that friend, that family member, that partner, and yet we don't feel fulfilled. We're not where we want to be. And I think the thing about finding our purpose and exploring our purpose has a lot to do with people feeling stuck in doing. A lot of my productivity is my life. My productivity is who I am. My job title is who I am. And we need less doing and more listening, more going inward, because energy creates reaction. Energy in motion creates a reaction. And we are energy beings. We have a soul. We are the soul. We don't just have a soul. We are the soul. We have a body to create with our soul. And the Creator and its infinite potential within us, that it's instilled within us, has created this beautiful, unique design to you and only you. And following the path that this world has for you, or your parents have for you, or your friends, or your partner, will only leave you feeling more stuck, more unfulfilled, half of yourself. Because in order to go all in, you need to decide to go all in. You need to let go of parts of yourself that don't align with this new part of you, that don't align with your highest self. And when we think of our highest self, what does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? What does you living your best life look like? And not just bathing in riches, because that is not the highest potential for you. But what is something that sustains your soul? What is something that makes you feel alive? Is it a sport? Is it that new business you've been thinking of creating but you haven't started? I see you. Is it that job that you really want a promotion but you're feeling like it's more for the money and not your purpose, and you really rather be doing this instead? You really rather be that stay-at-home mom or dad? What is it for you? What does that dream life look like for you? Not just all your needs met, but the needs within your heart, within your soul, that deep well inside that never dries up, but has the past few years for you, that has left you feeling hopeless, helpless, depressed, unhappy, unfulfilled. What does he or she want from you? What is he or she whispering to you? Have you sat with yourself lately? I feel like a lot of us are scared to. We're scared to confront ourselves and really face the parts of us that are breathing truth, are breathing wisdom. Because although the truth sets us free, it's so scary to be real and be honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you're not being honest with anyone else in your life, in your circle. Everything starts with you. And this universe provides endless potential possibilities to meet you where you're at. But if you're not gonna go and drive up there and get out your car, shut the door and start walking, then you'll never get to your destination. You'll still be 20 miles back, the same place you were last year, the same place you're gonna be next year. And you are not built for that. You are not made for that. You are made for so much more. And I hope you know that if you feel lost in life, if you feel like you don't know how to get there, you know what you want, not exactly what the pieces look like yet, or what the puzzle is going to come together, or when it's going to come together, but you know in your heart what calls you, please don't be afraid to follow that. Because if it's calling you, God is holding your hand. God is going to be there with you every step of the way, within you, outside of you, moving for you, moving through you, in a message, in a friend, in a phone call, in that guy in the coffee shop who you overhear a conversation that you really needed to hear that gives you motivation or gives you a sign that, hey, this is your sign to go all in. Don't be afraid. Don't be stuck in your afraidness. Don't be stuck in fear. You see, fear does this thing where it starts to paralyze us. And this paralysis of convincing ourselves that it's more comfortable and better to stay where we're at than be uncomfortable is the worst thing you can do in life. It's the worst thing you can do in life, because fear is not our God. Fear is here to help move us out of places that aren't for our highest potential. Because when you can confront these heavy feelings, when you can confront spaces in your life that are really hard to go through, you grow from that. You move through that and become stronger. At least that is the ultimate goal. And if you can't see it now, you will. You will see why maybe not why it happened, but you'll see what you could take away from it. There's always light in darkness. There's always light guiding you to a higher flame. And if you feel like your flame has flickered out, trust me when I tell you, it can never. You have an eternal well within you. You have an eternal wisdom within you. You have an eternal guiding light within you, outside of you. And sometimes all it takes is for me, for that random stranger on the road, for a subtitle on YouTube to say, hey, this is your sign. Stop waiting. Stop overthinking. Stop being afraid. Just freaking go for it. Just go for it. It doesn't even matter what that looks like. Take one step at a time. Break it down on paper. Break it down in your head. Think and sit with yourself. Whatever that looks like for you. But don't hold back. Stop playing it small. You are not here to play it small. Believe me. You have such a special place in this world, and you are designed to fulfill that mission, to fulfill all of your potential inside of you. And you don't have to be sad for not fulfilling that just yet, or not knowing what that looks like just yet. You don't have to feel guilty for staying in that job because it provides for you financially at this time. You don't have to feel guilty for not taking on that risk because you need to provide for your family at this time. You need to provide for your mental health at this time. That's okay. And at the same time, you don't have to neglect your dreams. You can come home and do little things that at the end of the day add up to big things. Instead of watching Netflix, maybe you should start drawing out that map of what your business is going to look like. Instead of watching Netflix, maybe you should call that friend you haven't talked to in a while and start telling them exactly what you really want out of your life. And maybe going to that new friend group or that new party or that new event will lead you to a place where you can meet people that opens you up into a reality that you did not know existed. You did not know a part of you really enjoyed. And maybe that is another link in the puzzle that you really needed to get the aha moment, or keep on keeping on when you felt like you just couldn't. Whatever is holding you back, don't let it. This is your chance. This is your new year to make a difference, to be somewhere else a year from now. And I promise you, your future self will look back and thank you that you didn't watch Netflix every single night when you got home, and instead did little things to get you closer to where you really wanted to be. And whatever is coming up in your heart right now as I'm talking and saying these words to you, that's what's calling you. That's what maybe you haven't looked at just yet, or maybe you've been pushing down or are too afraid to listen to. But I promise, if you are calling this reality into your life, it's calling you too.